What's up guys? Welcome back to the Beast Motorsport YouTube channel. So let's say you just got yourself a sweet M3, probably one of the best M3s that BMW has ever made, and you're thinking to yourself, what modifications should I do to this thing? There's so many different options, there's so many different things that you can do to these cars. This video is top 5 list of modifications that I think that you should do to the E9X M3s. If I was going to be building another one of these cars, this is kind of the list that I would tackle from day one. Number 1 on this list is the exhaust. We all know how amazing this S65 engine can sound, and so the very first thing that I would do if I had one of these cars and it was stock is I would do the exhaust. I would do test pipes to remove the primary cats, leave the X pipe stock, and then we're gonna choose the muffler section that matches our volume preference. If you're daily driving this thing and you want it to be kind of subdued and you don't want it to be super loud, there's gonna be certain mufflers that you can get to kind of match that volume level that you're looking for. An easy way to do that is most muffler options are either like a sport setup or a race setup. Obviously the race setup is gonna be louder than the sport setup. Just pairing that muffler with whatever volume level you're going for. So you're not really going to introduce much drone to the car. A lot of times the drone comes from removing the primary cats plus the secondary cats. You don't want any drone. You might just leave the secondaries in place. If you're trying to get as loud as you possibly can and get as much power as you possibly can, then, you know, removing the primary cats plus the secondary cats might be something that you think about doing. But just a really easy way to kind of start with your first exhaust modification on this car, test pipes, and then whatever rear muffler section you want to kind of match what volume level that you're going for. If you guys like these videos, please subscribe. We would really appreciate it, so hit that subscribe button. Number 2 on this list is your engine tune. We talked about removing the primary cats, so that allows you to do a stage 2 tune. In these S65 engines, there's not a whole lot that you can do to get power out of them, so we really want to extract as much power as we possibly can. So when you remove the primary cats and you do a stage 2 tune, you're looking at 25 to 30 wheel horsepower immediately when you do that. If you don't remove the primary cats and you get an engine tune, you got to do what they call a stage 1 tune. So you're not going to be capturing all that horsepower that you get when you remove the primary cat. So I would highly suggest that you do the stage 2 tune. You're going to capture that power. Your throttle response is going to be better. It's just going to pull better throughout the entire rev range. And then also you gain some fuel efficiency. Interestingly enough, when you get a stage 2 tune or even a stage 1 tune, you get more miles to the gallon, which that's good. It's good to save money. If you have the DCT transmission, when you're doing your engine tune, go ahead and do the DCT flash as well. So whoever's doing your tuning is going to be able to flash your DCT transmission, and they're going to be able to make the response of the shifts a little bit quicker, a little bit sharper. So I did that on my wife's E93, and I did notice that the DCT transmission shifts a little bit better. It just feels a little bit more efficient. There's a bunch of different options when it comes to engine tunes. Alpine MSS, he's a really popular one. His name's Alex. He does, stage 2 tunes. He does the DCT trans flash. I had the Alpine tune initially on this car, and then I switched to Epic Motorsport. So I just heard a lot of really good things about Randy from Epic. He tunes a lot of BMW track cars and race cars, and so I kind of wanted to try out the Epic tune, just because I heard it is a little bit better than some of the other off-the-shelf tunes out there. So, pretty much whatever you go with, they're all the same. So go with somebody that you like that has good customer service, where the price is pretty good, but there's a lot of different options, but they're pretty much all the same. Whatever you go with, you really can't go wrong, but you gotta get an engine tune no matter what. Super important on this car, get that engine tune. Number 3 on this list is kind of a 2-part. I've got a set of Underdrive pulleys and the Dinan carbon intake elbow here, and so I would kind of pair these together as something that you should definitely do on this car. The reason being is we're trying to extract as much power out of this stock engine as we possibly can, because we're not supercharging it, right? So we want to get as much power as possible. The Underdrive pulleys have been shown to do about 5 to 10 horsepower gain. I did notice it on this car after I did the Underdrive pulleys that it did pull a little bit harder. I'd say there was a little bit of horsepower there that was unlocked. And so that's a really easy thing to do. It's not expensive, and so I definitely do Underdrive pulleys. I've got it on this car, and then I've got it on the wife's E93 as well. Lots of different options. Again, they're pretty much all the same. I did active auto work. Dinan intake elbow right here. This has been shown to give you about 5 horsepower when you do this elbow. And what this does is it smooths out this transition from the plenum into the airbox right through here. Again, not a super expensive modification, and I definitely think it's worth doing. So, you know, if you do the pulleys and you do the intake elbow, you're looking at about 10 horsepower right there, plus the stage 2 tune. When you remove those primary cats, it's 40 wheel horsepower right there. That's a lot. You're gonna notice that. Good bang for your buck. Highly recommend it. Number 4 on this list, in my opinion, would be wheels and tires. You know, if you have a stock car and you do a set of wheels on it, you can immediately change the entire look of the car. So I really like doing wheels and tires. What I run on both of my cars, on my E92 and on the E93, is I run an 18 by 10.5 squared setup. So I like the look of the smaller 18-inch wheel. I like having a squared setup because it means that I can rotate the tires. Even if you're not going to be tracking your car, it's still nice to be able to rotate the tires all around. Some of my favorite wheels on this car are from Titan 7 and Apex. I really like those two companies, especially Titan 7. I feel like what you get from Titan 7 for the price is unbeatable, really. The style, the fit, the finish of Titan 7s are extremely nice for the price. And then you're getting a fully forged wheel, and they're extremely light. So I haven't found anything within the price range of Titan 7 that compares to it. I'm running a set of Apex wheels right here. These are the VS 5RS style. I got these because I love the look of them, and I really, really wanted to have a set of these. But honestly, I'm kind of a Titan 7 fanboy because they look amazing, but then, you know, the price range of those things with what you're actually getting for those wheels are awesome. I mean, it is a track wheel. Even if you're not tracking these cars, you know that those wheels are going to be strong and they're going to hold up to your abuse when you're daily driving the car. So Titan 7s or Apex, you know, I'm sure there's lots of other different options out there, but for the price point, you know, you can't really beat Titan 7s. And then even some of the newer offerings from Apex are pretty dang good too. Say you're just going to stay on the stock suspension and you want to do wheels and tires. You run a 35 sidewall. It's going to help fill out this gap between the fender and the wheel here. On the wife's E93, she's on the stock suspension, and I did a 285 3518 PS4S tire, and it looks like the car's lowered, but it's not. It's on the stock suspension. So we get the benefits of having the ride height pretty high so that she can daily drive it, but then we still kind of close that gap, because one of the worst things is when you do wheels and tires and you don't lower the car and you get this huge gap between the wheel and the fender, and it just looks silly. It just doesn't look very good. Little tip that I'd recommend is you can run spacers on the front and the rear to try to get this tire to be flush with the fender here. And you probably don't even need them at all when you run an 18 by 10.5. All right, so finishing up this list with number 5 would be coilovers. This is number 5 on the list because coilovers in general are going to be a little bit more of your higher priced modifications that you can do to this car. I ran the Öhlins Road and Track coilover setup on this car for about 2 full track seasons, and it did amazing. So you can daily drive that kit, and then you can also track it, and it does a really good job, and the price point of it is relatively low versus what you can spend for a coilover kit on these cars. If you're just kind of a beginner and you're wanting to upgrade your coilovers and you want to lower the ride height, but you still want to improve over the stock setup, the stock shocks, the Öhlins Road and Track, honestly, for that price really can't be beat. So beyond that, you know, you're stepping up to like, you know, MCS or JRZ, even KW. I mean, I'm sure KW has a comparable kit to the Öhlins Road and Track. I don't have any experience with KW. I only ran the Öhlins Road and Track, and then I'm gonna be putting those on my wife's E93 because those are no longer on this car. I've got a MCS two-way remote set up on here now. But, you know, coilovers is definitely something that I would kind of save for. Maybe that's kind of the last thing that you do, but you save up, you know, do it once. Don't buy this like super cheap, crappy coilover system. You know, at the very least, I would start with like an Öhlins Road and Track around that price point there. There's so many different things that you can do to this car. You really can't go wrong. That's one of the reasons that we all love this car, is there's so many different options. So just start modifying the car, man. It's so much fun. You can't leave these things stock. You know, in their stock form, they're okay. But as soon as you start modifying them, you really just bring them to life, and it's a really enjoyable car. You know, obviously I love mine. So let me know down in the comments below what kind of modifications you guys are planning to do to your M3s. Do you need any advice or any help or anything? Let me know. I'm happy to help you guys. Hope you enjoyed that video, and make sure you guys subscribe to the videos. If you like these videos, make sure that you subscribe to the channel. We're really trying to grow the subscriber list so we can reach as many people as possible and help as many people as we can. So I'd really appreciate it. Beast Motorsport out. Thanks for watching, guys.